Welcome to our Sony Vegas Movie Studio version 9.0 tutorial. I'm going to show you very quickly how to make a real simple movie. The first thing you want to do is you want to go to SONYcreativesoftware.com and you want to download the trial version of Sony Vegas Movie Studio 9.0. Now I'm using Platinum because I have HD cameras. So go to Downloads, go to Trials and Demos, and I'm going to download the trial version of Platinum. So go down the list here, Platinum Edition, and you download your trial. And what it does is it gives you a 30-day trial of the software. And once you've downloaded it and installed it, you open it up. And if you're used to the previous versions of Sony Vegas Movie Studio, you're going to see a little bit of a difference here. You want to type in your project, we'll say test project, and you can choose where you want to put it. Say next, and then you choose where that video might be shown, especially if you're going to be making a DVD. Choose Americas and Japan for right now, because I usually make NTSC. Your output type, you could have either an internet video that's high quality or medium quality, a Blu-ray disc. That's one of the newest things with version 9. You could put it on a camera, however, whatever output you want. So let's just say we're going to make an internet video high quality, because that's what most people on YouTube are doing. Next, select the audio format for your project, stereo or 5.1 surround. We'll choose 5.1 surround for right now. Finish. And what that does is that creates a whole bunch of, let's close this for now. That creates a whole bunch of layers here for you to start with your video, like text, video overlay, etc. And I'll explain those here in just a second. So the first thing you want to do is you want to find a file. Let's say you've got a high definition file. I just installed Platinum, which does high definition. So let's drag an HD file, which is a .mts off my Sony camera, down to this timeline. This timeline is where you're going to, this is your workspace. It's where you're going to be working on your videos. And you can go up and down, scroll up and down just like normal. Now one thing you can do with the timeline is you'll notice when you bring in your movie, you may not be able to see it very well. Now you can click inside your movie and look up here and you'll see it in your preview screen. Now I usually use good half for my previews, and you can scoot this stuff to the left so that you'll have a bigger preview screen. Totally up to you. Now I'm gonna change my time sequence here. There we go. Now what that's going to do is that's going to stretch out my movie. So what I did was I used the roller on my mouse, the scroll roller, and I just clicked right on the timeline and I just either moved it in or out. You notice how it stretches it out. It's always been easier for me to see the video in really minute detail down to the minute. So let's create this video real quick. Right click on the timeline, insert text media, and I'm going to put and you can stretch this out so you can read it better. I usually choose about 48 for my opening screen. My Keats. These are my parakeets. And once I'm done with that, I can place it wherever I want on the screen. I can use properties to change the opacity of it or the colors. I can draw a shadow behind it, draw an outline on it, change the colors, anything I want. And when I'm done, click the X and it should show up wherever our cursor is. And you just drag it over to the beginning of the movie. And if you want it to be shorter, these are in seconds here, this is time, so if you want it to only be about 2 seconds long, then just drag it in as much as you want. And what you do is you grab the middle portion of the text box and drag it in and out however you want, okay? And then grab the corners to fade in and fade out. And then drag your movie over the top of it, and you can overlap as much as you want, and you can even fade in the sound from your camera, because this portion here is your audio. And you'll notice that you have front, center, left, front, rear, voice, music, sound. These are all your different layers of your timeline, and you can add things to it. And the reason that you have several different audio, front, center, etc., is that's your Dolby surround sound, and many of the newer cameras do surround sound now, so it's good to add that to your timeline in case your camera does that. Now let's look and see how you would bring a picture in, another type of media. Go down to a place on your computer, and this area here is your tree, so that you can drag pictures in. And let's go to 2008 summer or something, and grab a picture, anything really. And what you do is you highlight, you drag that over the movie, and the two will come together. And what you do is you use these commands down here to play, and play that, and it will play your picture. You can also fade that out and add another text screen to the end. Now if you want your text screen at the end to look exactly like the one at the beginning, just click on your beginning text screen and do a Control-C, and that copies it. Then put your cursor at the end where you want it to be, right click and do a paste, and tell it you want to create a new copy of the source media. That way you can make changes and it won't mess up the original. So then we just right click and edit generated media and say the end or whatever. Okay, now when you want to render your video, you just double click up here where this yellow mark is. That's your loop monitor. Double click that, and that should cover your complete movie as long as you don't have anything hanging out over in this area over here. So we're going to just do project, render as, or you can make movie, either way. There's several different ways to do it. And choose, like for example, I always do AVI first because it gives you a really good clean movie. So choose what you want it to be. If you want it to be NTSC, I usually use NTSC DB just for regular movies online. Do a save, and there it goes. And you can watch your movie. A lot of times I will sit and watch my movie in this review screen, and I'll catch problems with it. So there are just a few differences in 9.0, but there's good enough differences so that you can do Blu-ray, and I think you really enjoy this version. So thanks for watching, and greetings from Alaska. Bye now.